guys, it's Dyno Day for the Golf R. I'm here at Everything Euro and Reflect Tuning, and we're gonna dyno the Golf R. First run, we're gonna do baseline, completely stock. Step one, we gotta get the car on the dyno. We have to strap it down, make sure it's properly secured. In addition to that, this is a two-wheel drive dyno, so we need to do a couple of different things. We need to disconnect the Haldex, and we have one other controller up front on the transmission that we're gonna need to disconnect. Now, that's still gonna give us a very accurate horsepower number, and of course we have Haldex, so it's not like we have a 50-50 split like some other cars have. In addition to that, my man Ian, who's gonna be doing our dyno work for us today, has to put the car in dyno mode. Now, apparently, this is a super secret squirrel process of gas pedal, brake pedal, and mashing all the buttons. I am really excited to see what this car puts down bass. All right, we got our first dyno runs in. I'm actually blown away by the numbers that the car put down. This car's rated at 288 from the factory, so I was guessing somewhere in the 220 range. It's actually crazy. We put down 275.55 horsepower and 279.08 pound-feet of torque on run one. Run two, we did 273.46 and 276.4. Now, the main reason that those were a little different is very clearly heat soak. The car was much hotter on the second run than it was on the first run, so we got a little bit extra. There is some correction that gets done on the dyno software based on temperature and altitude. That is a pretty accurate number. When you take the corrections off, it drops it down by about 10 horsepower and about 10 pound-feet, but the more accurate number is gonna be that 276 and 279. All right, so I'm super happy about the numbers that the car put down, 100% stock. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that are gonna come up in this video. One, Charles, you have an all-wheel drive car. Why did you dyno it in front-wheel drive only mode? That is a great question, and there's a couple of reasons. The main reason is there's nobody that close to me that has the proper all-wheel drive dyno. Understand that these modern cars have a lot of intervention. Traction control, ABS, and things like that. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that the car has to be put in dyno mode so that it ignores some of this feedback. In addition to that, oftentimes this style of all-wheel drive car, which it's more like a front-wheel drive car with rear-wheel intervention than something that's 50-50 split like a Subaru. These can get a little bit fussy on the dyno. Even when we dynoed my R32 down in Florida, we dynoed it in front-wheel drive only mode. Now, is that gonna give you 100% accurate, exact numbers? Well, maybe, maybe not. It would actually be really interesting to see what would happen if we dynoed the car all-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. But what's important to remember is this was a baseline number. While I love that it put down a good number, I'm less interested in that number than I am having a starting point for any possible future modifications. Now we have a starting point that we can work from. So in the future, maybe we look at what does an ECM stage 1 tune do? What does a stage 2 tune do? What does a downpipe or a charge cooler do for the horsepower numbers and torque numbers? This is more what I was looking for out of these dyno runs than, hey, how much horsepower does my car actually put down stock? So really, as long as we continue to dyno the car in the same way, we should still see the basic increase in horsepower be the same whether we were dynoing it all-wheel drive or dynoing it front-wheel drive only. Now, in a perfect world, I would have loved to put that on an all-wheel drive dyno, but again, there isn't any that are really that close to me. In fact, I drove 2 hours to come over here to Everything Euro because I've known these guys for a long time. They are a VW Audi shop, and I 100% trust them with my car. There are probably closer dynamometers to me, but one, it allowed me to come see some friends, and two, again, this is what these guys do all day long on our brand of cars, so I trust that they are going to do it right by the car. All right, so there we have it. We got our baseline. Now when going forward with any modifications, we'll know exactly what each modification does if we decide to modify it. On that note, what do you guys think our first modification should be on the Golf R? Questions or comments, drop them down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you again next time.